these NFL bets as we did last week?
Yes, sir. Seemed to be what you guys were the most interested in last week from the clips we broke out. So we appreciate y'all listening into this stuff. Um, I think, we should start it off with the Thursday night matchup, Matt. We got the Jets at the Colts. The Colts are a 10.5 point favorite on the Jets at home.
The Colts are at home.
Colts are at home. And they're a 10.5 point favorite over the Jets. And White Lightning.
All right. So Thursday night game, you gave me already with 10.5. I'm gonna go Indy covering the 10 and yeah, covering the 10.5. I like the minus
Okay.
10.5.
I actually agree with you. I think the Jets are going to come back down to earth a little bit, and White Lightning is going to come back down to earth a little bit. It's usually what happens with backup quarterbacks. And I just think the Colts have a better roster. They don't have a great record right now, but they have been a pretty good team the past few weeks. Obviously, they couldn't get it done against Tennessee, which hurt them for the season, I think, but they're better than the Jets by a lot. So, another game that's again, just two terrible teams. You got the Houston Texans traveling to Miami to play the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a 6.5 point favorite over Houston. You couldn't pay me to touch this game, but what are your thoughts on it, Matt?
Uh, hmm. You know what? I'm gonna take Houston plus 6.5, and Houston wins this game.
Okay. I think these are two of the worst teams in the NFL, so you really never know what the heck's going to happen. But I think I would say Houston covers, Miami wins. You're going money line. Uh, Next up, we got the Denver Broncos, a Von Millerless Broncos team, traveling to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Cowboys are at home and favored by 9.5.
Today with Cooper Rush, I'm taking Denver plus 9.5. If Dak's playing, Dallas minus 9.5.
I 100% agree with that sentiment. I'm looking to see the injury thing on that, but uh, that's one I'm kind of staying away from because of that quarterback situation. Because I think as soon as it's actually announced, that line's going to change further Dallas's way if it's Dak, and kind of stay the same if it's Cooper Rush, and lock people into that bet that thought Dak was playing. So moving on, another huge line this weekend. You got Buffalo traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Buffalo on the road is favored at 14.5.
Buffalo covered the 14.5 last week against the Dolphins at the very end. You know what? I'm gonna go Buffalo minus the 14.5 this week. I went against them last week. I'll go with them this week.
I agree. I think Buffalo steamrolls them like they've pretty much been steamrolling everybody this year for the most part, other than a couple of losses. It seems like every time they win by like 10 plus. So it's no question why the line's this high. I don't like big lines like this, but I do think Buffalo's going to cover. You got Atlanta traveling to a hot New Orleans team. This is Atlanta without their receiver as well, who stepped away from football this week in Calvin Ridley. So I don't know what Atlanta is going to be able to do. My thoughts here are go New Orleans minus the 6. I think they'll win and cover that.
It's interesting, the -6. I feel like it's kind of like a Dak thing. Who's my quarterback? Is it Taysom or is it Trevor? And I feel like if I'm making that bet, I'm waiting until Sunday morning to parlay that. I do, like I've said, I do really like the New Orleans defense, but you know it's -6, and if it's Trevor
I just
Simeon,
think Atlanta without Calvin Ridley, who's going to kill me?
Kyle Pitts,
Maybe. But New Orleans has good safety play and good linebacking play. They can cover Kyle Pitts. Nobody on Atlanta scares me anymore without Calvin Ridley.
I'll take Atlanta +6.
Okay. I don't. That's a tough game to call either way. I would actually go like I said, the opposite, but that's going to be a weird one with all the stuff injury wise going on with both of those squads. Next game we're going to get into is the Vikings traveling to Baltimore. Baltimore's favored at home by 6. Who do you have there?
Baltimore favored by 6. I'm going Minnesota +6.
I am going to go Baltimore -6 here. Just think they're a better team than Minnesota right now. Minnesota's been hot and cold too, so this one I'm staying away from personally this weekend because I don't know which Viking team is showing up on a given week. Is it the one that plays with anybody in the league, or is it the one that looks like they're one of the worst teams in the league? Seems to change every week this year. So another weird game to bet right now is Green Bay at Kansas City. Last I saw when I put this together, Kansas City was favored at home by 7.5. I don't know if that line's changed anymore with bets coming in with Rodgers going out,
+8.
but okay, so it moved another half a point.
Yes.
So now Green Bay's an 8-point dog on the road at Kansas City without Rodgers. I got Green Bay +8. Still don't think Kansas City's good enough to cover, even with Jordan Love playing.
This is going to be.
They'll win, but they won't cover.
So I made a statement that Dak is no longer in the MVP running because of Cooper Rush, and Cooper winning the game against Minnesota, and it's showing how good that Dallas team is. Is this game in Kansas City?
Yeah, the Chiefs are at home.
I might drop my balls right now and say Jordan Love's gonna win this game by 6.
I mean, it's possible, dude. Like I said, I'd take Green Bay +8. I do think Kansas City will catch a win here against the backup, but I don't think they're going to cover a 7.5 point or 8-point spread, whatever you can get it at.
All right, so I'll do my first alternative spread of the show, and I'm going to go Green Bay Packers -6.
Okay. At our 8th game here, we got the Patriots traveling to Carolina to play the Panthers. Patriots are the favorite on the road at 3.5.
It's Patriots -3.5. I mean, you could alternate spread this. You could alternate spread this and probably get
what, -5,
-5.5, -6.
Yeah, I would probably go about that far as well. I think New England's clearly a better team right now than Carolina. Sam Darnold has regressed horribly since early in the season, so I don't think this is going to be a real nail biter here for the Patriots. I think they'll win by pretty much a touchdown.
Yeah.
So we got the Cleveland Browns traveling to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Bengals coming off a terrible loss. Cleveland, all kinds of injuries all over their offense. Right now, Cincinnati's favored by only by 2.5 at home. This is a weird game, but I I'm gonna go Cincinnati minus the 2.5. I think Cleveland's too banged up, and I think Cincinnati got embarrassed last week, and they're gonna come out swinging this week against a divisional opponent. So I would go Bengals minus the 2.5. I might even go Bengals up to -5. I think they win by a touchdown.
I'll throw in another alternative spread here, and this is one that I'm actually probably going to bet. And I'm going to say Cincinnati minus 9.5. With everything coming out of Cleveland on top of the injuries, and then Cincinnati getting beat by the Jets, this Cincinnati team is going to go home and play a drama-filled, injury-filled roster in Cleveland who just got their ass handed to them by Pittsburgh last week. Yeah, I'm taking Cincinnati minus 9.5.
Yeah, I agree. Cincinnati, like I said, I think they're by a touchdown. You're a little even higher than that. So we're both on the Bengals for that game. We got another divisional matchup. You got Arizona traveling to San Francisco. Arizona's the favorite, but only a -1 favorite this week. This is a game I'm actually staying away from because Kyler's a little banged up, and I don't know how banged up. I'm pretty sure he's going to play, but is he 100%, and does that affect him? You know, San Francisco hasn't been great this year, but they're not terrible. There's a reason why this is only a 1-point line. Obviously, Vegas doesn't think this is that different. At that point, it's a pick 'em game, kind of. So I'd stay away from it, but if I had to bet it, I guess I'd probably go Arizona -1. They win. I would say that if they win by a field goal.
I'm not going to change the spread on this. I'm just going to take Arizona -1. I do believe that you could probably get Zona -5.5, even without Kyler playing.
Yeah, it's possible. The fact that Vegas has it as a 1-point line kind of, I don't like those pick'em style games. But yeah, I would take Arizona -1, and if you're gonna do that, you might as well parlay it with an Arizona money line because obviously you're saying that they're gonna win at that point. Moving on, we got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to New York to take on the Giants. The Raiders are favorited 3 points on the road, so they're a field goal favorite in New York. Who do you like?
I like the Raiders by a lot more than 3.
I agree. I think it's kind of a fucking slap in the face to the Raiders by Vegas to say that you're only a 3-point favorite against the Giants right now. I'll take the Raiders money line. I'll take the Raiders -3. I'll take the Raiders -6, maybe even -7. That's where I'm at on that game.
I agree 100% with everything you just said.
Yeah. So then we got your team, the Philadelphia Eagles, at home, taking on the visiting Chargers and Justin Herbert, who are favored, but only by 1.5 against the Eagles in Philly.
Jesus. Sirianni method. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, I got the Chargers. Even the -1.5, you could probably get the Chargers up to -5.5. To be honest with you, you know they ran the ball real well last week, and they kept the ball out of Jalen's hands, and that's really what made a difference in that team. And you know, I don't know how much more Sirianni's going to do that, especially because Halfrey, as John Ritchie likes to say on 94.1, wants to pass the ball. So you know, to me, I gotta go Chargers -5.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers. I'd go up to -3, -3.5. I think they win, but it's close. The Chargers haven't looked good the past couple weeks, so that's why this line is so close, because they haven't looked much better than the Eagles the past few weeks. So the next game we're going to get into is Sunday Night Football. It's the last game on Sunday that we haven't covered, and this is the Derrick Henry-less Tennessee Titans traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Rams and newly acquired Von Miller. The Rams are a favorite at home at 7.5 points. I'm going to just be frank. I got the Rams here. I think they probably win by 10 on Tennessee without Derrick Henry. But I would just keep it where it's at. Take Rams minus 7.5. What are your thoughts?
Take Rams minus 7.5, and I wouldn't be scared to push to 13.5.
Yeah, I'd also like to just shout out a prop bet I'm probably taking this weekend, which is Von Miller to get a sack in this game. I just feel like he's going to come out and show up and make an instant impact.
Another prop bet was in this game. Cooper Kupp to score a touchdown. He's already got 10.
It's ridiculous what he's doing this year. He's on pace to break like every receiving record for a single season right now. Matthew Stafford is winging the ball to that dude. So the last game this weekend is Monday Night Football, and in a barn burner, we got the Chicago Bears traveling to Pittsburgh to take on them Steelers, who are favored at home by 6.5 over the Bears. Who do you like in that one, Matt?
The way the Bears looked on Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers, who are a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers, I may have to take the Bears with that 6.5. So I'm going to say Bears 6.5.
Yeah, I would take Chicago plus 6.5. I don't know that they win, but I think they can keep it closer than a touchdown. So, yeah, I agree. Chicago plus the 6.5. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're going to win. I still think Pittsburgh probably takes it at home, but you never know. With that wraps up all the Week 9 matchups and the betting here.